So up next, let's see here. We had Sheamus and the Usos versus Gold Star and Cesaro, and I officially checked out for this match because the football game was more interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice back and forth matchup, particularly though was the ending. I think it was Jey Uso went off the top rope for a splash on Goldust. Goldust got the knees up though, hit the final cut. It seemed like that was going to be the end. Sheamus breaks it up. Then there's a little bit more back and forth. Then Sheamus hits the bro kick to Stardust. Then I think Cesaro, I want to say, disposed of Sheamus. Then Goldust got super kicked by Jay, and then Jimmy got the tag, and they went for the splash again, and they did pin Gold Star. So again, it was a tag team match that really illustrated how to use all the bodies involved, especially for the breakdown finish, which is probably the most entertaining aspect of any multi-man tag match is when it all breaks down. But yeah, the Usos dupe in the tag champions, so even losing the belts, they still look strong. And when you have Sheamus on your team, who actually did manage to retain his title at Night of Champions, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion they are getting the victory. And as I noted, for the 15th anniversary of SmackDown, it will be Gold Star versus the Usos. In all honesty, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Usos regain the championship, but I am picking Gold Star to retain, even if it is by crooked means, exercising the champion's advantage. So yeah, a fun tag match that really was only notable, I think, for its finish. So yeah, babyfaces win.
Which is surprising to nobody.
Exactly. So unless you have anything else to add, which I doubt you do, because again, you said the football game was.
I still think it sucks that freaking Cesaro ate the pin, though, didn't he?
No, Goldust ate the pin.
Oh. I was thinking something else then. All right.
Yeah, you were thinking about the last time these 6 guys got involved, because Cesaro ate the pin then, and that pissed me off, because he was,
That's right.
having his United States title match with Sheamus, so.
Yeah, and how'd that work out? Anyway, Randy Orton backstage, Seth Rollins walks up and says that he appreciates that Orton's facing Cena tonight, says that he may have a little surprise waiting for Orton at ringside tonight, and that he and Kane will be watching from ringside as well. Next thing you know, we see Mark Henry walking backstage, and Cole shows us the new WWE 2K15 gameplay trailer. We had a commercial, and then we went back to security, still guarding the room that Ambrose was thrown into earlier. And then finally, we go back to the ring, and I completely missed this segment. It was like for a solid half hour, I just did not pay attention to Raw between the 6-man tag and this segment. So, John, I need you to kind of fill in the blanks here. Mark Henry comes out and he talks about how he let his country down. He apologizes to the country and says that he's not 100% physically, but he also feels like now he is his heart is also broken. And he says that fans are entitled to pick on him, but he gets the what chance, and he actually acknowledges it. And then he says that he's sorry, and then Rusev's music hits. He comes out with Lana. Lana says, everyone here's so pathetic and apologetic like Henry. USA chant starts, and she tells the fans to shut up. I do remember that very specifically because it was the same old shut up. And then Lana says that fans want to see another match between the two. Henry accepts the challenge and says that he'll be happy to destroy Rusev tonight. Lana tells Rusev to crush Henry, and we get an actual match between these two because you paid for it last night, so here it is for free.
Okay. See, this was a kind of like a mixed bag segment for me because on one hand, Ashton, I think you know by now because you and I have discussed it to death how much I am just so past the point of caring about this whole anti-American angle with any opposition that Rusev faces. So, to me, and it's just a shame when it's reduced Mark Henry to, apologizing to fans. Come on, Mark. That's why I really miss heel Henry when he would just tell the fans to go shove it. I still remember his promo when he won the world title. You're all haters! This is my moment, and I'm not sharing it with any of you. He goes from that, which was hilarious and vitriolic and just hateful, to, I'm sorry, I let you all down. You can all what me if you want. Like, you're a badass. Don't make apologies.
I'm sorry, John, but this is not a badass right now.
It's not. No, it's completely antithetical to a badass. You couldn't get any more opposite if you tried. So
good
there was,
word.
Beg pardon?
I said good word. Antithetical. Yeah. I'm impressed.
Yeah, it's just like it's completely polar to what a badass should be. So that's honestly, dude, if I was really to let my fandom overtake me, this would have been a heat of the night because I hate how pathetic it's making Henry looking. I absolutely loathe it. On the positive side, though, and I can't believe I'm saying this, I actually like that it was Lana suggesting that they go at it again.
Yeah, I do too. It's almost like she kind of acknowledges that Mark Henry can't beat Rusev, and then like she's just like, well, this isn't really a risk for me, so we might as well just do it again.
What it tells me, Ashton, and first of all, I do think you're absolutely right, but I would even go one step further here, and I would say that I think it's Lana really starting to openly acknowledge, yeah, my monster is untouchable.
Yeah.
Like, to me, this is what I think more heels that look like Rusev and act like Rusev should be. Like, yeah, don't be afraid to embrace those challenges because look at yourself.
Yep.
Like, you know, so I really actually like this, and I can't believe I'm giving this whole thing any credit, but I had to give it big ups because I'm like, you know what? That's refreshing for a heel to come out and say, do you want a second chance? When normally it's the babyface going after it and saying, you know, I know if I just had another chance I could beat you, or going after the heels like, oh, you're just a coward or this and that, or if you're John Cena, oh, well, you have a glass jaw, Randy. So, you know, it was really great to see this. So I just really wanted to emphasize that because I know me and Ashton, and I still say deservedly so, have been kind of dumping on this whole anti-American sentiment and just this whole angle. So that was one positive. But then we get to the match, and it was what you expected, guys. I mean, Henry did have his flashes of, like, a comeback. Like, they tried to replay the one spot where Rusev pretty much spears Henry's back into the steel steps, but Henry was able to block him and kind of throw Rusev into the steel steps. But ultimately, it wasn't enough. There was this one really awkward moment in the match where Rusev
How awkward was it?
It was anxious aardvark making babies with awkward turtle, at least for me. Because I'm like, oh, are they going to be able to recover? And I guess to their credit they did, because Rusev was stomping his foot, and I guess he was trying to, like, signal that he was going to go for a super kick, which I like that he's introduced that in his offense. So, again, that's another little positive. Just a bad time to debut it, because I guess Henry thought that really selling his injuries took precedent to actually getting up for the maneuver. Because he never got up, and it kind of lingered for a little bit, and then Rusev's like, screw it, he's not getting up. And then he locks in the Accolade, and Henry passes out. And again, much like
I think Henry might have thought that his pass-out moment was a little bit earlier than it was supposed to be.
Yeah, just the whole finish seemed, I don't think clunky's the appropriate word, but I don't know.
Awkward?
Awkward, yeah, I think is the perfect word.
I mean, you already said anxious aardvark. That's like the next step after.
Yeah, that's the next. Because I was really like, okay, well, Rusev, how long are you going to wait? Clearly, Henry's not going to get up. And I just felt like it was one of those, like, cringeworthy moments, like, in an in-ring context. And much like their Night of Champions encounter, the highlight of the night for me was my friend James going on a rant about how all Americans apparently are failures to Rusev, and how can somebody just please step up and beat this commie or else be deported. So it was fantastic. So I really enjoyed that. But yeah, I mean, even Sheamus at this point has said he wants a feud with Rusev. Can we just do it and get the United States Championship on this guy? Like, I don't know who else he has to beat to get in United States Championship contention, because I hate to say it, but even Cesaro, like, he had to beat one guy, and I think he beat Van Dam to get his title shot, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But look at the people that Rusev has beaten. I think he looks like an even more credible opponent than Cesaro, and that takes a lot for me to say because we all know how much I love him. Come on. Give him his title shot. Have Rusev versus Sheamus, I think could be a great matchup for the
I'm going to give it to him.
I'm going to give it to him. Still awesome. So many acts were missing from this Raw, and Big E, Kofi, just so many people. Oh my God.
Dude, Big E hasn't been on Raw in a while.
It's really getting concerning, the acts that are taking priority over some of these guys. But yeah, I think Rusev is done.
Speaking of acts that are taking priority over these guys, up next we had Adam Rose and the Bunny versus Slater Gator.
I want to make this really quick. Adam Rose and Peter Cottontail win. Bunny did get some entertaining stuff, though. He got a spin. I think it was Justin Gabriel.
Yep, it had to be Justin Gabriel.
It had to be, because that spin kick was too reminiscent of some of his offense.
Yep.
And he got that, and he got, I think, a moonsault, like a springboard moonsault on the outside to, I want to say, Titus. Adam Rose hits the party foul on Heath Slater. Adam Rose continues to be undefeated on the main roster with no acknowledgement from anyone. I just said a few seconds ago that if Rusev has done enough to be the number one contender for the U.S. title, where's Adam Rose's Intercontinental Championship match? Like, with all the guys he's beaten, like, you think he deserves a little something. Oh, man. So, yeah, Adam Rose and Peter Cottontail win. Clearly, when the Usos fall to Gold Star, we have our next number one contenders right here. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, yeah, I really have nothing else to say about this, Ashton, if you want to move on. Or unless you have anything to add, of course. But, yeah, I have nothing else to say.
No, dude, I don't have anything to add.